Hey guys, welcome back to Owlchemist Tarot, serving tarot straight up. So this is your general weekly reading for July 19th through the 24th. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Please subscribe so you know when new videos are coming live. Hit that bell and make sure you leave a comment. Tell me you're new. Love to always welcome newbies. If you're a return subby, thank you so much. I always appreciate the likes, the follow, the comments, all that good stuff. So let's see what's going on. I'm going to pull a few angel answer oracle cards and then some cards around money, career, love, and kind of just overall things you need to be aware of this week. And then I will be putting the extended version for our Patreon members up. So if you're on Patreon, you can access your extended weekly reading. Let's see what's going on. Spirit. And you'll have to forgive me. I'm a little tired because I was working in my yard a lot the last couple of days. So, okay. The two cards that come out are in the near future and remain positive. So I think for some of you, this is something, number one, you need to follow your intuition this week like you should always. But if I think things are starting to progress and grow, and there's probably been some slow progress to some manifestations that you've been trying to, actually get going. Or things that you've been trying to manifest. It's been taking a while, but a lot of it is that it's learning, for many of you, it's learning how to surrender, let go, and align rather than forcing something to happen. This week, I think it's really good to understand that everything works out for a reason, right? So things in the past that kind of haven't gone in your favor, they've probably set you up more successfully. You've probably been protected more than anything. So kind of just take a step back and be grateful. It's really important to show the gratitude this week. That's really coming out strong. In the near future can certainly mean in the next few weeks, a couple months, give or take. And I would say just keep thinking positive. Keep, putting good vibrations out there. The law of attraction, right? Or the law of vibration, I should say. Let's see what's going on. I'm just going to be pulling a couple cards. Also, this upcoming week, we got a lot going on. So if I get these dates wrong, please don't skewer me. My head's all over the place. We are entering into Leo season on the 21st. I believe that's the right date. So happy birthday, Leos. We are so excited to be in Leo season. Everyone is. Cancer season's tough because it's really getting in those fields. And for some of us who are not, that's not always our comfort zone. We're like, oh gosh. So Leos, we're very excited. Also on the 23rd, we have the full moon in Aquarius. So a lot of releasing, letting go. Things coming full circle. Kind of letting go of the old, making room for the new. For some of you, you've been probably thinking about maybe upgrading new technology, your phone, maybe looking at a new vehicle. There's something that you're trying to upgrade, because usually with the Aquarius is all about technology and the future facing. They're also the humanitarians. I'm an Aquarius, so I feel confident to say this. But it's almost like the Aquarius is very much like, foresight in many areas, but very heavy in technology. And, I got to say, I'm very guilty of liking all the new gadgets. I love a good gadget, especially if it makes my life easier. Sign me up, say less. All right, let's go. What's happening for career. And for many of you, if you want to know, I'm using the Tattoo Tarot 8 coins deck. So a lot of you ask me what my decks are that I use. It's this one, the Tattoo Tarot 8 coins. What's going on with money? Interesting. Love. Okay. I'm going to be... Okay. All right. So, oh, wow. Okay, I just pulled a couple cards so we can kind of just see what's going on. First and foremost, the 10 of Wands came out. 10 of Wands is an ending. 10 of Wands, if you can see this raven or crow as the 10 Wands staking it down, making it, nosedive into the ground. The biggest thing, I think for a lot of you, this is a reminder that in order for you to ground yourself, to let go and surrender, in order to manifest, you really need to let go of other people's shit. And I don't know else how to say it. For many of you, you're carrying the weight and burden of other people. For some of you, you're carrying the weight and burden of what other people think of you, say about you. You know, their opinion isn't any of your business, but two, who cares, right? Like if they're not on your team rooting for you or on your vibration, cut them loose. Don't even give them a second of your energy, because ultimately it's just they're energy vampires. It's a time suck. You're only going to hurt yourself in the end. I think this is kind of a long lesson for some of you, that if you understand that you cannot take on everybody else's stuff. Now I say this because we're moving out of Cancer season into Leo season. The wands are all about action, fiery, energy. Cancer season sometimes, well, it's a very emotional sign, very sensitive sign. I think for a lot of us, we have to recalibrate and get in tune with our emotions, but we also have to understand what are the deep insecurities that we carry, and that we kind of like still kind of linger. A lot of us, even if you do shadow work or self work or whatever the case is, sometimes there are things that linger that you felt like you cut out. It's like you didn't get to the root of it. You know what I mean? It's almost like when you pull a weed and you yank it out of the ground, but the root still sticks, but you got the top off, and you're like, that's good enough. You know what I mean? Until it rains, until some time has passed, and then that the weed is back, and you're like, it's never really been gone. So I think for some of you in Cancer season, that's kind of been the energy that you've had to go with. Entering into Leo season, though, I feel like you've ripped that root out. And this is really important. The 10 of Wands is an ending. So it's like coming to terms that, number one, you have your own stuff going on, but two, you cannot take on other people's stuff because you're stepping into their lessons. And if you take on their stuff, emotional baggage, burdens, insecurities, sensitivities, sadness, depression, frustration, stress, whatever, you are only going to make them go through that cycle again because they're not doing the work themselves. I hope that makes sense for some of you. Now, in your, this deck, by the way, I just want to be, so I didn't know this, but I think this is pretty common for this deck. There are a couple different cards that came in this deck that are duplicated. So like the 9 of Wands, the Star, I think 3 of Cups, 10 of Cups. There's some cards that are duplicated. So we got a duplication, and I just kind of wanted to point that out there. So in your career, really looks favorable. We got 10 of Cups, and we got the Wheel of Fortune in the upright. This to me is that first of all, Wheel of Fortune is a completion. It's a major milestone. For some of you, it's understanding that I know exactly what I need to do to make me happy. I know exactly that it's up to me to make me happy. In your career, for some of you, this is things coming full circle, meaning that you've worked really hard, you've been overlooked, you've been biding your time, and you've just been knowing that, like, if I keep just putting my nose to the grindstone and being positive and putting myself out there and being a team player and raising my hand, I know that things are going to come back to me, and I know they're going to pay dividends. And in this week, you might start to see that. This could be a raise. This certainly could be, you moving into a higher level role. Or for many of you, you could be getting, quite a few job offers, even if you haven't applied, or people are starting to notice you, and they're like, hey, you do X, Y, and Z, we're looking for a person like that. Hey, are you available? Have you been thinking about looking for a new position? The job market's really hot right now, especially if you're trying to search for something new. Sorry, my hair looks awful in this video. 10 of Cups is fulfillment and happiness, like true happiness. Meaning that for a lot of you, you're stepping into a position in your career where you don't have to necessarily continue to prove yourself. People, like, they know that you just walk into a room or in a project and you're just like, they know that you're going to kill it, right? You're just going to knock it out of the park. And a lot of you, this is coming to, and by the way, these are 2 10s, 10 of Cups and 10 of, Wheel of Fortune's a 10. Major endings. For many of you, this is moving on to something that is going to make you more happy, give you more work-life balance. Couldn't say that, sorry. And for a few of you, it could be where this is like kind of like remote somewhere in the country. For some of you, you're able to work remote. For some of you, that's giving you more time back with your family. Even though I know remote working is kind of, it's been the norm as of recent in the pandemic, but a lot of people are trying to force people back into an office, and maybe you're given an option that you can just kind of work how you want, when you want, where you want, and that's just putting you in a great, you know, mental space, and it's really done wonders for your well-being, okay? So money, here's where this duplicate card comes out, because we got the 6 of Swords, and then we got the 10 of Cups, but in reverse this time frame. So I think for the money, there's probably been some hard conversations around money, probably with your partner or in the household. Things could be breaking. There's just someone in the relationship could be overspending, or you've had to put money in places where you're like, oh God, I hate having to do that. Or I hate having to buy a new water heater. I hate that I have to fix my driveway, whatever the case is. It's almost like it's this like gut wrenching. It's like, oh. But it is also one of those that this is not the time to do a quick fix if that's the case. Like really fix it this time. Don't do any shortcuts. If this is around a partner, you guys need to be honest and have a really clear discussion around money. And you need to understand that, hey, look, we're in this as a couple. So I can't be working and making the money and you just spend it on stupid shit, right? Like this is really having a kind of a pretty serious heart-to-heart conversation when it comes to that. Because what's happening is that it's creating issues, emotional issues between you two, if that is the case. 6 of Swords is that I think that things are going to be moving into a calmer state. Maybe not right this week, but you're going to start to, if you can organize and kind of get things out there, then I do feel like you're going to create a path that's a little bit more calmer to navigate through money-wise. 6 of Swords also can be travel. For some of you, this could be that maybe money-wise, you're going to have to take a little bit of a break. Maybe a summer vacation's on hold right now. Maybe that you guys are doing a staycation. There could be something where there is a little bit of travel, like instead of flying on a plane, you're doing the road trip, or you're doing something that's inexpensive and it's easier. But that could be the case. It might kind of give you a refreshed outlook, but I would say that you're still, money-wise, you're still kind of like there's some emotional ties and there's issues around money. So 6 of Swords, again, it is moving on to calmer waters, but it's also after, you know, some really challenging discussions and, you know, because it comes after that 5 of Swords, which is a battle. It's like an empty victory, if you will. So it's like you can't pretend that if there's a money issue that it's not there. You gotta fix it and then move on, okay? Love this week is, well, these aren't the most amazing cards. So for some of you, love-wise, we have the King of Wands in reverse, and then we have the 5 of Pentacles. I'm sorry, the 5 of Cups. Sorry. The 5 of Cups. Okay, so a couple messages here. First and foremost, if you are single, I feel like this is somebody that if they've come into your life, the King of Wands in reverse is someone who is not in it for the long term. They're in it for their own satisfaction, gratification. This is somebody who is probably a charmer. King of Wands does represent fire energy, so it could be a fire sign, but it doesn't have to. That's an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. I think this is somebody who is like a player. You know, like Peter Pan never wants to grow up. It's always like, you know, fun and exciting, and then they get bored very easily, and then they're out the door. This is someone who doesn't have a lot of emotional commitment right now. They're still trying to sow their wild oats, so to speak, and it doesn't matter how old they are. The King of Wands can probably suggest that it could be somebody a little bit older, maybe mature, as far as like they should be mature emotionally, but maybe they're not. The King of Wands in reverse reminds me of like the forever bachelor, for whatever the case is. 5 of Cups is that this is somebody who is going to linger. It's almost like you relish on the good times, but you forget the reason why they've left your life or you had to cut them out of your life. I'm going to tell you that if you keep emotional ties to somebody that can kick your heart like a hacky sack anytime they feel like it, this is a lesson for many of you you're going to continue to go through. This is one of those situations where, does this person really add value in my life? Does this person want to be in my life? Is this person acting like my life's in a revolving door? You know, you have to ask yourself these questions, because especially that last one, if they come in and come out anytime they want, you know, enter and exit when it suits them, I would tell you, you need to let this and cut this energy out. Okay, for some of you in a coupled relationship, your partner who's been very emotionally detached, somebody who's probably been going out a little bit more, somebody who's not been, it's almost like they've been a little bit more secretive. Not that there's Scorpio energies there, but it's almost like you catch them in a lie, or you catch them trying to be very slick, or you catch them trying to get out of something. For some of you, it's cheating. The Five of Cups is that this is somebody who, if you've decided to keep them or take them back, or if you have an inclination, your intuition is telling you something shady is going on, you're spot on. And I got to tell you that if you keep hanging on to this person, and you, whether it's like emotional blackmail, or you just want them to win, almost like you keep them in your life to like, well, he's mine or she's mine, you're going to regret it. This is somebody who has probably been disloyal or dishonest. This is the first time you've caught them. Okay, and I know that there's not necessarily a cheating card here, but I do feel like this is crying over spilt milk. This is crying over somebody who doesn't deserve your tears, your energy, your love, your, your loyalty. This is somebody that needs to be kicked to the curb. So again, partnered or singles, man, this is kind of a hard week for love. But again, we are entering into the week with that full moon in an Aquarius, and it's all about leaning into the future and really, letting the stars align and making room for all the new stuff. And the full moon is about purging things out, making room for new things coming to a completion, a full culmination. So if it's a relationship for you, I know it might hurt, but don't hang on because there's history. Don't hang on because you still feel like there's an emotional connection. If this person is not good to you, then don't keep them around. It's like keeping aged milk in the fridge. I don't know how else to explain it, okay? So this is a no-no. If you are a part of our Patreon, please stay and listen and watch your extended version of this reading. And if not, you guys have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk very soon.